This is the Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show. It's a show full of informative chat and inspirational messages. The Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show on podcast. Let's go back to 2015 when you were originally diagnosed with an acoustic neuroma. What were the symptoms that you were having?
I used to be stood up sometimes and everything used to go black. And I used to joke and say, if I fall over, just walk over me. The GP said it's your blood pressure, but it wasn't my blood pressure because my blood pressure has always been excellent. So it wasn't my blood pressure. I also noticed that the hearing on my left-hand side had started to diminish. So I was thinking I really need to go and get a hearing test at some stage. I didn't go to the doctors with any of those symptoms. I was just carrying on. It wasn't until I went to bed fine on the 29th of December 2014, and me and my husband used to work at the same place. We were on the same shift. We were on a day shift. He got up in the morning to go and de-ice the car. That was on the 30th of December 2014. I got out of bed. I staggered into the bathroom, and I felt drunk, and I felt like my mouth was lopsided, and I thought to myself, am I having a stroke? But there's no pain. But it was really odd. So I managed to get downstairs. And when he came in from outside, I was holding on to the back of the dining room chair. And he goes, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I burst into tears. I said, I've got earache and I feel drunk, even though I'm obviously not drunk. And my mouth feels lopsided. And so he got me to raise my hands above my head. I wasn't having a stroke. So phone the GP, go to the GP. The GP said it was ear infection, signed me off for a week, but it wasn't getting any better, and I was getting really bad vertigo. So went back to the doctor again, then he signed me off again. That's when he said, we'll try the Epney maneuver, which didn't actually do anything apart from give me sciatica. My boss was hassling me to get back to work on my shifts, and I'm like, I'm not fit to drive, and I can't stand up. I was office-based, but my jobs were quite specialised.
Yeah.
And I used to do shifts, would have to drive in. My boss, she wanted me in there, but I can't go in, I can't stand up, let alone do anything else. And what was weird was for me, because, you know, I actually slept for the whole of January and February, which was bizarre. I was completely wiped out.
Yeah.
And my husband had actually known two people that had actually died from brain tumours, and he had seen me being quite clumsy, which I suppose is a balance, and he didn't say anything to me, but he was concerned that I think my wife has got a brain tumour because I've seen this stuff before. So it must have been really awful for him.
Yeah.
I had a scan in March, and then it was the 20th of April 2015. We were sat in the ENT office when they actually diagnosed me. This chap is saying, oh, you've got this growth on your balance nerve, nothing to worry about, it's benign. I've had 2 or 3 cancer scares that were benign. So all I was actually concentrating on was the word benign. There's other people going through a lot bigger than that, but since having this brain tumour, I've lost the ability to cope.
I think, how can you not go through having a brain tumour, brain surgery, and not be affected by your mental health? Like, how can you not be affected? Shouldn't we just give ourselves a little break and say, this was not our fault? Tell us about your fundraising.
When I was 60, I always had this idea that I wanted to do a big fundraising event for my 60th birthday, but I didn't know what I wanted to fundraise for. When my husband, we left the hospital and we were walking around one of the National Trust places that we went to, I said to him, because he's got health issues, but he's always done loads of charity work. He's actually been a really good role model. He's my rock. He's a really big support. I said to him, I just really want to help somebody because I'm feeling really devastated. I said, if I can help just one person feel not as alone as I have, then I'll feel, strange thing to say, I'll feel like I've been given my brain tumour for a reason.
Yeah.
So I did this big fundraising event and raised over £1,000. That was the start of my fundraising journey. I've got a closed group on Facebook, and it's actually a really friendly group. everybody really helps other people. It's not just brain tumours, it's also carers and friends. I always said people with brain tumours, and it's probably the same with other things as well, but start off as strangers, become friends, and then it's like you're all part of a unique family. It's a family nobody wants to be in, but you're all part of a unique family. The trick is finding other people.
Yeah. You just meet completely different people from different backgrounds, and brain tumours can affect anybody.
Yeah. And the reason I do the fundraising and the social get-togethers and stuff is because I just want to show that there is life after a brain tumour. Next month, November, I've got a big fundraising event coming up with the Brain Trust. I've done 3 crochets, which they'll announce it. So somebody in another charity actually bought one of these items from me, and it was to spread brain tumour awareness. So basically, people saw her photo and they want one. Oh. So Brains Trust contacted me and we spoke at length, and I've done a number of these things for them, which they're going to be announcing next
month. Is there a Facebook page for that?
It's called Made in Kerno, MAID in Kerno.
Mm-hmm. Crochet is really relaxing, isn't it? My mum was she used to crochet all the time. I don't know how you sit there with all that patience.
I've not actually managed to read a book since my diagnosis because I couldn't concentrate on it. All I could actually do was adult colouring books. I used to spend my time with adult colouring books. And then I just decided to try and do crochet again, because reading a pattern, you're only reading like a short bit at a time. I got into it again and I just love it. My poor husband is so patient because there's yarns everywhere.
I bet you've got colours everywhere. Yeah.
But, no, I love it because it helps me zone out, and I don't charge for my time. I donate that to whatever charity that I'm actually raising funds for.
Yeah.
And I don't charge, as long as I have enough to cover my materials and a bit extra for the charity, because I want as many people as possible to actually have my crochet.
Yeah.
It seems to put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces.
You're a really creative person. We've all got different skills, and definitely we should use what we've got.
I'm always thinking about things that I can do. I get such a kick out of seeing people meeting other people in the same situation and seeing friendships being formed. My world was rocked when my best friend of 60 years died of a grade 4 brain tumour. We've known each other since we were 4. In fact, this is what I'm doing, the fundraising thing with Brain Trust next month is in her memory.
Oh, lovely.
And they're going to do a story on us, so they'll publicise that. But she was part American, part Cornwall, part Cornish.
It is for people through Brains Trust, but it's more, this is because it's for your friend and you wanted to give back for her.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to give back, but basically what it was, I crocheted a certain item, because I'm having to wait until Brain Trust actually announce it, but I crocheted a certain item, and let's just say this item went a bit viral. My best friend, she grew up in Cornwall. We started off at the same school when we were 4 years old. We were like best friends since then, so we've been through marriages, divorces, children, blah, 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 whatever. She knew things about me that no one else will ever know, and vice versa. And when she died, which was 2 years ago, September, she was living in Florida, so we used to like video chat a lot because it was cheaper video chatting than it was actually speaking on the phone. We did actually talk a lot and everything, and she was such a big supporter to me when I got my brain tumour. And when I did my 60th birthday fundraiser, I actually paid for her to come over for it. So we spent 3 weeks together, just sort of like doing girly stuff. And it was really weird because I just knew that I had to have her. I've moved anything to get her out. I had this feeling I had to do it. And as it turned out, it was the last time we were together. Yeah, she never told me that she had a brain tumour. She never told her son either. So she had a stroke. And basically she lasted 7 months and she was gone. it was inoperable.
Oh, that's horrible.
But yeah, she never actually told me. She hinted, but when I tried to talk to her about it, she would just change the subject.
Maybe
So I don't know whether it's because she thought she had more time and she was trying to get things sorted out, or I don't know why. But yeah, that really knocked me, because it was one thing me having a brain tumour, and mine's grade 1, but why did my best friend also have to have a brain tumour, but hers was a grade 4?
Oh, that's really sad.
I miss it terribly, because we were like best friends for like over 60 years.
Oh.
But sometimes I do feel in this world, when you're seeing what so many people are going through, and I consider that I'm actually quite lucky, because I've just been on watch and wait since 2015, even though that's traumatic at times. But sometimes I think maybe I'm a bit of an imposter in this world, but I know that I'm not, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think you are at all. It's an invisible illness. I think that's something that is hard to get across to anyone. It's an invisible illness. No one, you look fine, and therefore you think they're fine. There's so many things going on.
It's like people say, "Oh, you look really well," and I'm like, "Yeah, but if I'm having a bad day, because get bad days, you won't see me."
Just say, "Fold me inside out," and then have a look again. I don't know where that came from, sorry.
But yeah.
Thank you that you've shared your story. I'm looking forward, and I hope that you do make loads of funds and stuff for your friends, in her memory.
It's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah,
anyway.
and you.
You take care.
You too. Bye.
Okay, cheers.
This is the Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show. It's a show full of informative chat and inspirational messages. The Aunty and Brain Tumours talk show on podcast.